Eat your vegetables. At 3 months old, I came with a note from the nuns explaining I was fussy and wanted to be held. They also mentioned giving me Caro syrup for constipation. When I die, you'll find candy bar wrappers under the front seat of my car. Please, cut them in colorful strips, braid a bracelet called Almond Joy. Attach it to my ankle. What you need to know is she and I were tethered by sweets. In the end, they said, eat anything, pudding, cobbler, cookies. Her last meal, a vanilla swirl Dixie cup. She glared when I offered the tiny wooden spoon. She wanted big bites. Mom smelled like the empty milk carton we tossed scraps in next to the kitchen sink. She smelled like that in Comet Cleanser. As a kid, the one game we played was Beauty Shop. I styled her hair while she ate Hostess Twinkies. It was the only time I was ever allowed to touch her. Growing up, we stopped at Dairy Queen after dental appointments to console me for having so many cavities. She was a strawberry sundae. I was hot fudge. We were both whipped cream and nuts. I will steal food from the nurse's station if they do not bring my mother something to eat. She is hungry. We've been in the emergency room for 6 hours. She is hungry. When one of us is hungry, the other one eats as well. Finally, a nurse says, "Come with me." I follow her to a tiny refrigerator. She pulls out a turkey sandwich. I stare her down. She compliments the meal with Jell-O. I return to Mom's room, food in hand, as if I'd foraged through the wilderness and brought back nuts, grain, and berries. In 1980, I called her from a payphone in the Bahnhof in Germany to tell her I was pregnant with my first of 6 sons. She said, "These things happen," and told me I should eat better for that baby. 3 days a week, we leave before dawn, arrive at the dialysis center. Inside, a scale rests frozen on the same numbers. Don't know why I'm not losing. I recall the biscuits and sausage gravy punctuated by pumpkin pie we downed for lunch yesterday at the Martin Way Diner. Tonight, her lungs fill with fluid, and her legs and ankles swell like melons. It's the smallest part of our bodies, our ankles. We like our ankles. They give her more meds to help her pee. When she sits on the bedside commode, I am afraid it will break. It breaks. A yellow puddle appears on the floor. I stand by her side, soak it up with my sock. I was exhaustion, milk, and eggs for over 20 years. I woke each morning and put single motherhood on like a robe, wondering what I'd feed my sons that day. Suddenly, babies had teeth and bags of Bisquick for $1 made sense. Spare change bought toilet paper, maple syrup, and hope. Sugar as a prayer delivered to young mouths. Travis from Mills and Mills Funeral Home calls to say, "Mom is number 2 at noon," adding, "If we want to watch, that's extra." Sales lady at Sears asks why I am returning the floral print blouse. I tell her my mother was mad when I bought it. She did not want $14.97 going up in flames. After the funeral, I stop at my oldest son's house, notice the box of fresh kale, beets, arugula, delivered by a local farm to his front porch, a compost pile out back.